After The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, I became a Jon Favreau fan. Hold on a second, did he say he just became a Jon Favreau fan? Is probably running through your head right now. And yes, you heard right. There hasn't been much that Jon Favreau has made that has really stuck with me. Yes, I loved the movie Elf when I was younger, and Iron Man is my favorite MCU movie, but as I got older, this really didn't stick with me. That changed after The Mandalorian released The Marshal, known as Season 2, Episode 1, but that's not what I want to focus on. Getting back on track, this is Jon Favreau at his finest. It's the episode that changed my mind about this director forever, and it's for something so small and almost insignificant, if not for how secretly genius it is. Let's get into it with minor spoilers, but the internet has done that already. The Season 2 premiere focuses on Mando traveling to Tatooine to find a rumored Mandalorian that supposedly lives in some obscure village. It doesn't focus on that for long, and the focus of the episode shifts over to killing a legendary krayt dragon. This episode does many things right. It has clever inclusion of Easter eggs, it extends the lore of Star Wars, and it features one excellent fight with a dragon. While I would love to talk about these things more, we need to focus on that dragon fight. This fight lasts for about 7 minutes, but it is packed with gorgeous CGI, explosions, tension, and one of the coolest monsters in all of Star Wars. And while it does these things well, there is something else it does even better, making the krayt dragon feel huge. It has all of the conventional rules, ground level shots, and long sweeping motions for the dragon while it's moving. But that's not what makes it great. What makes it great is the use of aspect ratio. In movies and even episodes of The Mandalorian, astute viewers may notice black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. This is the aspect ratio, the proportion between the width of the video and the height of the video. There are many aspect ratios to choose from, but for now we will focus on 2 of them. 2.39 to 1, or 2.40 to 1 if you want to round it up, and 1.85 to 1. This episode of The Mandalorian is shot in 2.39 to 1 for most of its runtime, except for the fight with the krayt dragon, which is shot in 1.85 to 1. You can see this transition of aspect ratios when the krayt dragon shows its fearsome maw as it exits its home. This will throw lots of people off, but this is perhaps the most genius thing that the series has done so far, because of how it makes the krayt dragon even bigger. Time for an object lesson. Let's take an image of a 2.39 to 1 aspect ratio and an image of a 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio. Now let's take a regular square or kaiju and place it in these images so they touch the top and bottom of the photos. For the 2.39 to 1 frame, the square or kaiju looks large, but there's a problem. There is a lot of negative space on both sides. But if we do the same for the 1.85 to 1 frame, there is significantly less empty space. In the case of the kaiju, this is a game changer because it is taking up more space and leaving less empty space. This allows the kaiju to feel giant and overpowering to the viewer, while it loses that scale in the 2.39 to 1 frame. This is exactly what Pacific Rim does. Guillermo del Toro clearly knew what he was doing when he was making a giant monsters versus giant robots action flick, and he did it masterfully. There are very few movies or shows that capture the scale and power of Pacific Rim, but Jon Favreau did it with the use of aspect ratio, just like Guillermo del Toro did in Pacific Rim. However, not everyone knows how to do this. Movies like Godzilla King of the Monsters, the 1998 Zilla movie, the rest of the Monsterverse as a matter of fact, and worst of all, 2018's Pacific Rim Uprising. These movies use the 2.39 to 1 aspect ratio to film, except for Zilla, which uses a 2.20 to 1 aspect ratio. Am I advocating for a concrete aspect ratio in kaiju movies that follow the 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio? Yes, because it makes a huge difference in the final product. Jon Favreau deserves heaps of praise for what he did here, but people don't recognize it. I scoured the internet for hours looking in reviews and videos to see if anyone even noticed this decision. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't find anyone who mentioned it. And even worse, there are people who are altering the footage in their videos to set the krayt dragon fight to a 2.39 to 1 aspect ratio, like IGN. Bad example. IGN is already under fire now as it is, and everyone already knows they suck for many reasons. Xenoblade Review. Even channels like Eckhart's Ladder are altering the footage. Why are you doing this? Everyone, please share this video so people can know just how brilliantly the aspect ratio was used in this episode. It's just outright tragic that people don't appreciate how great this is. In the meantime, please support my channel by subscribing and liking the video. I had a really good time making this video, and I want to know if you enjoyed it. And if you want to see my thoughts on other things Star Wars, you can check out my video where I explain how the prequel's use of CGI was actually a good thing. Anyways, have a nice day, and bye.